All right, so I think what we'll do is we'll start with the grapple, work our way back to the engine and into the cab. So this is a 56-inch Rotobec grapple. Don't know anything about it yet. In fact, I still don't even know the serial number or what it is, but yeah, 8056 grapple. Seems to be in decent shape. And this, also this machine I bought from the very first employer that I had when I started logging, and this was their main loading shovel when I bought it in Woodland, Washington. So, or when I was working for them, it was their main loading shovel. That, and they had a 300 Cabelco. But typical Rotobec external swing, so you got to put tacky lube on it. But it's really stout, quite a bit bigger than the one on the link belt. That's a 46-inch Rotobec. And this one has dual pins, just a bigger, quite a bit bigger grapple. Cylinder's kind of wet, but not that bad. It looks bad in the camera, but the chrome is in good shape, smooth on both sides from what I can tell. This has a young boom, just the same as the link belt. Pretty beat up though. Looks like someone ripped the hard lines off at one point. Probably got a log under there. So they ran soft lines. I'll definitely be heating these up with the torch, bending them back, welding them back on, kind of cleaning this up, putting some lights in the boxes. That'll be nice. Yeah, all that's got, I'm sure it all got ripped off when that happened. The heel rack cylinder leaks, pretty steady drip. However, the biggest issue as far as hydraulic wise is the jib boom cylinder. You can see that poking out, is a steady stream when this thing is running. So I will need to rebuild that ASAP. But yeah, I'm not sure what model this boom is. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. These cylinders are damp, but nothing, no steady leaks, just they're damp, so they're, you know. The nice thing about the Cat is it's got quite a bit, it's a foot wider and a foot longer, the undercarriage, and it's got probably close to a foot, probably 8 or 10 inches more of ground clearance, which is great for logging, so you can get over stumps. This is a 320L, which it's just a straight 320, and L I think stands for like extended length car body or something like that, or long car body or something. When I bought this, I was told this track tensioner, the seals were blown out, which is not a big deal. It's like $35 for, you know, for O-rings to rebuild the track tensioner. However, you can't see it now with how it's stuffed in there, but what's actually going on is this is most of the way out. So the, it's not the track tensioner. They're both, I mean, they're pretty wore, but that's not the problem. The problem is the bearings in this front idler are completely gone, and that wheel is, right here's the axle, and that wheel is, so it's a huge hole. So this whole idler is pushed back. That's why it's slack, and it looks even extra slack because they're just pretty worn out. But for the price, I'm not complaining. It's got rock guards all the way down, which is a huge improvement over the link belt. The link belt, you look at it wrong, and when the tracks are so worn out, they kick off the bottom rollers. With the rock guards, it keeps them where they can't fall off, or it's harder to fall off. And if you look at the link belt, you can see how much narrower the undercarriage is. Actually narrower than the catwalks. So it's nice that this machine, it's actually wider than the catwalk, so got a little bit more stability, and that's nice. It's got an extended counter, or excuse me, an added counterweight. Not sure who did that, if Young did that or someone else, but that's a chunk of iron. It's weird about these 320s, these original ones. Most 320s, the 320Bs, Cs, Ds, they all have 2 doors here. This one has 1 giant door. It's kind of annoying. I can see why they changed it, because you got to move this super long door to open it up. But supposedly has air conditioning. Probably doesn't work, but it's got the option. This morning I went and bought 4 new batteries because they were so shot, even after running they wouldn't take a charge. So I bought 4 new ones to get it off the low boy. Just typical cat. Here's your, oops, I'll move this so you can see. Here's, on these older ones, this is your raise and lower on your, for your cab tilt. Let's back you up here so you can see there. I'll shut the master off here. Now the batteries are off. And here's cab tilt instructions. Interesting. But yeah, you can see how long this door is. Yeah, it's rusty. So this machine, for the last over 5 years, has just been a trailer loader. So here's the pump side. Accumulator, filter for your pilots. I don't know anything about Cat, as far as, I'm assuming this Cat makes their own pumps, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. I'll look into that a little later. Oh, and there's this, look how thick these are, all like probably thicker than 1/4 inch thick doors. Real thick for forestry. The link belt's real thin sheet metal, like a normal excavator. So it's really nice to have heavy doors. So if you get a log kind of bump up against it, it doesn't cave the door in instantly. And before I forget, we'll go back to the undercarriage here. These are idler stiffeners, and it keeps that idler from getting, what happens is these, on either side of the idler, they spread from turning always, and they crack out. That's not bad, but that has some cracks there. These idler stiffeners keep that idler pointed forward, which is really nice. Typical log loader guarding here, so if you're spinning logs around, you don't hit your fuel tank as bad. Toolbox with some hoses in it. Just some JIC hoses and some old grease. The Cats use flat face O-rings, or O-ring face, whatever you want to call it. But this whole boom is a Young boom. Oh, here we go. So I think, I don't know what size it is. R3750. Yeah, I'm not sure what size. I'll have to do the research. I don't know if that's a 37-foot boom. Probably not. I don't know. But it's a Young boom. But Young uses JIC. So everything from this point all the way down is going to be JIC fittings. And from this point back is all going to be mostly O-ring face. But anyways. So fuel tank, hydraulic tank right there. It's got a 3066 engine that overheats. So what I believe is going on, and what I've been told, is it's got a bad head gasket. Shouldn't be too big of a deal to replace and fix. So that's the main reason. That's why this machine got parked. Is it still their loading machine? Pull away from the yarder, and started overheating on them, and it got diagnosed with a bad head gasket. So I don't know who diagnosed it or anything, so I will still go double check everything, but it gets warm supposedly. It's full of coolant though, no oil, so that's good. So maybe it's not a head gasket. The oil's old, but not milky. You know how cool it would be if it was just like a stuck thermostat or something? Oh, of course there's no oil on it. So that's awesome. That's actually kind of weird because there was oil on it when we checked it when we bought it. Maybe it wasn't in all the way. Oh yeah, it wasn't in all the way. Okay, it's got oil. That scared me. It was not pushed down in the tube all the way, so it wasn't reaching the dipstick. Fuel filter. It's got a new exhaust on it, a newer exhaust. It's not all rotted out, which is nice. It's a AC, has air conditioning. I don't think it works, but it's got the option. In fact, can't even tell if the pump's down there hooked up or not, but we'll worry about that later. The hose that blew goes all the way to the very bottom, that shiny 90-degree fitting right there. That one. Focus you. That one. That one down there is the one that blew. And that was a pain in the booty. But swing box, it's got fluid in it, it's ready to go. Checked all that. And I guess now we'll go ahead and climb in the cab here and take a look at the creature comforts, which are two modern shovels, are not that comfortable. But right off the bat, one thing that's kind of annoying is these stairs are, man, it looks like it on the camera, they're off center here. Let's actually, I'll get down so you can see it. So you kind of like climb up at like an angle. I do not like that. But I'm sure you'll get used to it. Heat this up and straighten them out. Got lots of little projects to do to this loader. The link belt may or may not be sold. Yeah, it's what you'd expect from a kind of retired shovel. The door does latch. If you do, oh, you got pushed slow. Doesn't matter. Now it doesn't want to. The handle here is missing. I got it. Just it's not there anymore. I'm not super familiar with these. I've never run an A. I've run a B and a C and a D. The seat has duct tape on it and a metal bar right against your spine. It's actually wore to the point where it's not actually that uncomfortable, believe it or not. It's got a lunch box here that it's broke, so maybe I'll put a hinge across here so we can use it, because it'd be nice to have a spot to put your lunch box. Link belt doesn't have that option, so that's cool. These early ones, which is weird, the heater controls are back here, and they work. So you got back your head, defrost, and fan speed, and air conditioning, and temp. I'm assuming, move over here. This must be your swing brake, I think. And this may be to lift this whole thing up. I don't know that yet. It's got still old water bottles, and I pulled a whole bunch of stuff out so far. There was stuff behind here. There's a tube grease and some other stuff. Not entirely sure what went here, but there's a few other things in here. CB doesn't work. I don't know if it's getting power. That looks like your manual override, but so grapple close, grapple open, rotate, I want to say counterclockwise, rotate clockwise, and these ones are not being used. Here's your throttle, which is it's not like smooth like the other ones. This one's got notches, but it works. Pilots for your travel. That's a big one because the link belt has cables to manual spools just on the 2800s. All the 3400s, 4300s, you know, what, 5800s, they all had pilots for your foot swing, but the link belts had cables on for the smaller loaders like mine. And so what happens is everything gets a little wore out and you got a lot more travel. Like they got to go way further either way. So it's kind of actually hard to like travel both directions. You kind of end up going like that, using your hands when you're having to pull back with your heels. You know, that's your kicks on your pilots. The link belts has been removed. This is super hard to read. In fact, I wish I didn't turn the power off, but this is your turtle and rabbit function for your track speed. And the other ones I can't read yet, and I haven't found anything online on what they are. But it's all, you know, it's weathered from the sun. I think everything still works though. But I can't really read them, so I got to learn about that. Plexiglass is pretty weathered, hard to see out of, but maybe we'll clean it up and shine it up. That's still glass, so that's nice. And plexiglass on the bottom that's fallen out. And an old shirt from Hickory. Here is, looks like it's supposed to be like for a cigarette lighter or something. I don't really go there. I don't know what that goes to yet. Found that behind the seat. And this is for, I see, lengths and measurements for logs and diameters. So for what mill? Logging sort sheet Cathlamet East 2016. I think that was the last time that's the last job this machine was on, I think. Well, at least I think it was 2016 when they kind of retired it to the boneyard. But yeah. Oh, it does have armrests you can raise and lower and adjust the height. I have them up all the way right now. Just operator preference, I guess. The handle needs to be here. There's nothing to grab onto. You can't grab onto this without ripping it off. So, still getting used to everything. Let's see here. This is just a door for your cab riser, and usually people just put their saws and, you know, extra oil and stuff in here. Some coolant. That's all it is. It's just a cab riser with a hydraulic cylinder to tilt, and fire extinguisher. So, anyways, yeah, here's the idler stiffener here too. And on the inside, got one right there. But yeah, here it is. The 320 cat log loader. Super excited, and so grateful for the opportunity to buy this. That was in my price range. And the 320s have a little less tail swing. See how big the cab is compared to the... So the nice, like the link belt has about a foot more tail swing than the 320. And I think for here in Idaho, that's just so great for thinning and private jobs, just a little bit smaller as far as for swinging. And it's nice for when you load trucks, because let's say you got a truck right here and you got logs behind you. When you swing around, you don't have to be as far away from the truck. So when you have logs, then you don't have to try to stretch out as far to put them on the truck. It's just little things that are pretty nice. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'm sure you guys will get quite a bit more footage of this log loader getting fixed up. So have a good one.